Hello, I'm Tom, and in this video I will solve the puzzles in the green section of the RYB game. Let's move right into it. We have 8 puzzles here, and we have new mix colors, violet and green. So here we need a mixture of red and yellow, that's orange. So let's mark orange. And then we need 2 green ones according to both available clues here. Green is here and there. Here we need a mixture of yellow and blue, which is green, so we can put that in the middle, and we need 2 violet neighbors according to both clues here. And then we need a mixture of blue and red, which is violet, and 2 orange pieces, so we go here. Here, if you look at this piece, we have 2 neighbors which have to contain blue. It's this piece and this piece. Now these 2 pieces also touch this piece here. So these 2 pieces have to contain blue and yellow. The mixture of that is green. So we need 2 green pieces here and here. And that means we have 2 violet pieces left, and violet is exactly a mixture of red and blue. So that makes perfect sense. Here for this piece we can figure out what colors we need inside here by looking at this clue and this clue, and like potential mixtures. Like somehow we have to mix because we only have 1 yellow one and 2 yellow ones here. So sort of we need to mix colors. And the question is, can we mix red and blue? Potentially yes, that would make up violet. But the thing is, we don't have violet on this board. So red cannot be mixed with blue. It has to be mixed with orange. Yeah? And if we mix red and orange, we get mix in red with yellow, sorry. And if we mix red and yellow, we will get orange. So we have 2 orange pieces here in the middle, and obviously we can't have an orange piece here because that wouldn't give us enough orange pieces to fulfill this clue. So the 2 orange pieces have to be here. And then in the center we need the mixture of yellow and blue, which is green. So we can put green there, and that leaves us with 2 blue pieces for the board here and here. On to puzzle number 2. Here we can look at this clue first. We have 2 neighbors to this piece, and we need 2 colors containing red, here and here. And if we look at this piece, we also have 2 neighbors, and both of them have to contain red, because we have the 2 red clues here. So we need 2 red colors here and 2 red colors here. We don't have red itself, but we have 2 orange ones and 2 violet colors on the board. So these red containing colors are used up here, here, and here, and here. That means that for the remaining 4 pieces of the board, we need to use these colors, and we can actually assign them. Here we need 2 yellow colors, and here we need 2 blue colors. Yeah, we can't have orange or violet because they are taken up here and here. So let's mark these pieces here like this. And now we need 2 more yellow colors. 1 yellow color is already here. We need 2 more yellow colors here. We don't have yellow anymore. We need orange that contains yellow here and here. And here we already have 1 blue color here. And we need 2 more blue colors here. Since we don't have blue, it can only be violet. So this finishes the puzzle. Puzzle number 3 needs some pre-solution thinking again. Let's look at this clue here first. First of all, we need a yellow color in here, right? Okay. We need a yellow color in this one because this piece only has this 1 neighbor and it has to contain yellow. Now, if we look at this piece here, and especially the clue, we need 1 red neighbor. The red neighbor is here in the orange, obviously because the blue clues, they cannot be in the orange. Orange is a mixture of blue, of red and yellow. Okay, so the red clue is already taken by this orange one, which means that for this tile, like we have 2 more blue tiles that we need, and we have two neighbors left. So these two tiles have to contain blue, and if this tile has to contain blue, according to this clue, and if this tile has to contain yellow according to this clue, it means we need a green color here, because blue and yellow mixes to green, like this. Now here, for this tile, we also need a yellow neighbor, and we have only one tile as a neighbor, so this tile has to contain yellow. Now that the green is gone, we only have one color left that contains yellow, and that's orange, so this piece has to be orange. Okay, now looking at this clue again here, we need two neighbors that contain the color blue. Orange does not contain the color blue, so these two neighbors need to contain the color blue. Here we have blue and green, and here we also need a blue neighbor, which can only be violet because there is no other color containing blue on the board, so that's violet. And here, if you remember, we also needed here the color blue inside, because the red one is in the orange one, this blue one is here in this green color, so we need a blue color in here, which again can only be violet. So we have only red colors left for this board. They have to be here and here. Okay, moving on to puzzle number 4. That's a bit more complex. At least I'm solving it in a complex way. I don't know if it's possible to deduce the stuff easier, but well, let's start with a pre-conclusion that we will need later, but I don't want to interrupt the later line of thought. Let's first of all look at these two clues here. Yeah, we need two yellow containing colors here as neighbors, like these two pieces have to contain yellow, and these two pieces have to contain yellow, according to these two clues. Now, if we look at the available colors, we only have 4 colors that contain yellow. There's no yellow itself, but we have orange containing yellow and green containing yellow. So we have to remember that these 4 colors are taken up by these 4 tiles, okay? They're not available in any other space, because otherwise we couldn't comply with any of these two clues, or with one of these two clues at least. Okay? That's the starting conclusion that we have to make. So to move on here, we will actually try and figure out which color this piece has here. Okay? Now, according to this clue here, it has to contain the color blue. For blue, we could have blue. We can't have orange, remember, green, because green has to be here, or violet. So it has to be here, blue or violet. Now, let's look at these clues here, because basically, well, if we know that the red has to be in here also, then we can know this has to be violet. But potentially, we could have 2 red tiles here, right? 2 red tiles here and 2 red tiles here. But in fact, we can't, because we only have 4 colors. We only have 3 colors left that contain the color red, and it's red and violet. Remember, orange doesn't work because orange has to be inside here. Yeah. So, since we only have 3 colors containing red as a potential neighbor for these 2 tiles must have a joint neighbor, and that's this piece. So this piece has to contain the color red, according to these 2 clues, in conjunction with these clues and everything else I said before. Yeah, I hope that made sense. Again, this tile has to contain the color red according to these 2 clues, and it also has to contain blue according to this clue, so this tile has to be violet. Yeah. One of the violet tiles has to be here. Now, we can look at this clue again. We see the red color is definitely used up down here, so that means for the remaining 4 tiles we have potentially 3 blue colors and 1 violet color. Now if we look at these 2 tiles cannot contain violet. If you remember, they have to contain blue or orange. And thus they have to contain blue and yellow here, blue and yellow here, and blue and yellow here. So these 2 tiles have to be green. They have to contain yellow according to these 2 clues, and they have to contain blue according to these two clues. According to this clue. So these two tiles have to be green, and in turn, because of these two yellow clues here, the upper parts have to be orange. Remember? Okay. Now we can look at this tile here. We need a blue color in here. Now we have blue and violet in here, yeah? Actually, we can know that we can't have violet up here because violet needs to touch somewhere here. Violet has to be either here or here according to this clue, right? So up here we can only have blue. Like blue is the only blue. We don't have green or anything else that contains blue that can go in here. So this has to be blue. And now we can look at the color that can be in here through this clue. Like we need two red neighbors. We have one blue neighbor that doesn't contain red. We have a violet neighbor, so that contains red. So we need another red in here. Yeah. Now according to this clue, or wait, we need another red in here. This could be violet or red potentially, right? Now according to this clue, we can't have red in here because this red is already used up here. And we have 5 color clues with exactly 5 neighbors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each color has to be in one of these tiles, and the red color is already here. We have 2 blue colors here. So we can only have violet here, either as this violet one or as the mixture between blue and red here. This has to be violet. Now that in turn means that here we need a blue color here, right? Because we have 2 blue colors already in the green. We have 1 violet here and 1 red here. That leaves us with 1 blue color, and the only blue that we have is the pure blue that needs to go here. And so we have a red piece remaining up here. Okay. Puzzle number 5. Oh yeah, this puzzle actually I think is much easier than the puzzle we needed to solve before, but maybe the puzzle before had a simpler solution. I don't know. So let's start by looking at the top left clue here. We have 3 neighboring fields, 1, 2, 3, and each of these 3 fields has to contain blue. Okay, so here, looking at this clue, we have the same neighboring fields, 1, 2, 3, and they have to contain yellow, yellow, and blue. So let's see how we can mix them. Well, if we mix red and blue, we will get violet. We can't put violet here because we only have 1 violet, and if you look at this clue, you see that violet needs to touch this part here. So we know that this part has to be violet. Like this. So that was red and blue. So now we have 2 tiles left with a mixture of blue and yellow. And that is green. So we need 2 green tiles in here. And this tile we can't move along because we have basically here yellow, or it could be orange or even green. Yeah? We don't know which it could be. So let's move on. Here we have 1 violet neighbor already, so that means this part has to be green, according to this clue here. And now we can look at this one. Green is a mixture of blue and yellow. So this mixture is gone. Inside here, for the remaining 2 tiles, we need a mixture of red and yellow. Red and yellow is orange. So these 2 tiles have to be orange. Now we can see that for these 2 tiles, we need blue colors and yellow colors, right? So these have to be green. I'm not going so much into detail that there's 3 neighbors and stuff. I hope that's okay. You will bear with me because it will just take too long. And now we can look back to this clue here. We have 2 yellow colors that we need as neighbors, and we only have 2 yellow colors left here. So the neighbors to this piece need to be yellow, which leaves us with a blue color for the center connection piece here. Okay. Puzzle number 6 in the green section. Yeah, that's also... Actually, it took me very long to solve this properly, but now I think I've got it nailed. And I always start by looking at this piece here. according to this clue, this piece has to contain the color blue. And according to this piece, this clue, this piece has to contain the color either red or yellow. Now, if it contained the color yellow, it would have to mix with blue, and blue and yellow is green, and we don't have green. So we can't have a color containing yellow in here. It has to contain red, this piece. And red and blue is violet. So this piece has to be violet. Now, in order to move on, we will try and figure out the color of this piece. But in order to do that, we need to look at these two pieces, actually. Okay, bear with me. The red color of this clue is used up in this piece here, right? Because the yellow color is not included in here, so the red color has to be here, because we only have two neighbors to this piece. That means the yellow color needs to be included in this piece here. Okay? Now let's look at this clue. Here we have two neighbors and two color clues. Yellow cannot be included in this piece because violet only contains blue and red. So that means the blue is in here and the yellow that we need must be in here. So if we have yellow in here and if we have yellow in here, that means these two yellow clues must also go here and here. And that is because the blue clues cannot go together with the yellow here or here because we don't have green. Blue and yellow would mix to green. And violet obviously also can't be here or here because we need yellow in there. And violet is a mixture of blue and red. So that means the yellow clues somehow are directed at this tile and at this tile. Which means for this tile we only have blue or violet left. Okay? So here we need to have also, according to this clue, we need red in this tile. So obviously this tile has to be violet too, like this one. Yeah? Either it's the mixture of blue and red, or it is violet to begin with. Okay? So this one has to be violet. And now we can move on with our deduction by remembering that here and here we need yellow pieces. And again, here we can't use these clues for this because yellow and yellow mixed with blue would be green, which we don't have, and violet doesn't contain yellow, so we need the red pieces here, the red neighbors here and here. So these two neighbors need to contain red according to this clue and yellow according to this clue, which is orange, and we can put the two orange pieces there and there. Now, if we look at these clues again, was it these clues? Wait. Yes, we look at these clues again. Here we can see that these two red colors are used up here and here, and these yellow colors are used up here and here, right? The violet is used up here, and this violet is used up here, so we have three blue colors that we need inside here, and we need three blue colors that we need inside here. And we have three clues that we need somewhere in here, right? So that's 6 blue colors all in all, somewhere here. And we have 6 colors that contain blue. 2 blue ones and 4 violet ones, which means the remaining yellow ones need to go in the other remaining places, especially in particular here and here, right? And now we can complete these clues here. We have 2 yellow colors here, 2 violet colors here, which means we need 2 colors containing red here and here. Since we don't have red, it has to be violet, so we have violet here and here. And we can do the same thing here. The 2 yellow colors are here and here. The 2 violet neighbors are here and here, which means we need 2 neighbors containing red. And again, we only have violet, so these have to be violet, which leaves us with 2 blue colors for the remaining 2 pieces. Puzzle number 7, and almost the last one. Oh yeah, this one I also need to start with explanations. Maybe there are like easier solutions to these puzzles, but I fear there are not. Well, please correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, I solved this by, again, looking at potential mix colors here. Look, let's see what happens if we mix yellow and blue here. If we mix those two colors, we get green, which is okay. Basically, we have one green, which would be somewhere in these three tiles. But then we would need two mixtures of red and yellow, meaning we would need two orange colors, and we only have one orange color. Yeah? So we can't mix the yellow with the blue, and that in turn means that the blue has to be mixed with a red piece here, okay, with the red color. So we have, for effect, we have one violet color in one of these three tiles, yeah, one violet color. That leaves us with two yellow colors here, two yellow neighbors here, and one yellow and one red neighbor here. So we will definitely have one yellow neighbor, because we need yellow from here and yellow from here, and one mixture of red and yellow, which is orange. So these three colors contain violet, that's what we started with, orange and yellow. These three colors are in these three tiles, okay? We don't yet know where, but bear with me, because we will do the same experiment here basically. Can we mix red and yellow? Yes, we can, that's orange. But then we wouldn't have to mix two times blue with yellow, which is green, and we only have one green piece. Yeah? So that doesn't work. We have to mix red with blue, meaning that's violet. And if you remember, violet can only be in one of these three pieces. Yeah? So these two pieces have these three as neighbors, and the only overlapping piece for the top two clues and the bottom two clues is this one. So this one has to be violet already, we know that. Okay, let's move on with the color mixtures here. We mixed blue and red here, got the violet. So we need blue and yellow, which is green, and we need yellow and yellow, which is yellow. Yeah? So these two colors, yellow and green, go down here, and remember, yellow and orange go up here, which means the remaining red colors, first of all, can already be located here in the clue tiles. And now it's time to look at this piece here, because we need 5 red pieces, 4 of which we already have, 1, 2, 3, 4, which means we need one red piece and a blue piece neighboring. That can be only here and here. And if you remember, yellow is like if we we can't have yellow here or here, because we need something with red or blue, right? So the two yellow pieces, they go up here, and here we need something that contains blue, which can only be green. And remember, green was here the mixture of blue and yellow. And up here we need orange, which contains red, and is for these two clues a mixture of red and yellow. And that completes the puzzle. So for the final puzzle, let's start by doing what actually? We're gonna try first of all to get some basic understanding of the layout, because a short time ago I found out that there is some earlier conclusion that I never did in this puzzle before. So let's look at this clue first of all. Yeah, we need 4 neighbors with the color red, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 neighbors. So these 4 neighbors have to contain the color red already. Yeah, these 4 pieces need the color red. This frame part and these 3 inside parts. If we look at this clue, we also have 4 red neighbors, and we have exactly 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these 4 pieces have to contain red. So that means we have this frame part and these 4 pieces inside here that have to contain red. Okay? That's 5 pieces altogether. And we have exactly 5 pieces containing red here. These 2 red pieces, 1 orange piece, and 2 violet pieces. Okay? Now, if we look at the inside clue here, we need one orange piece, we need 2 red pieces, and we need 2 yellow pieces. Yeah. Now let's see if this conclusion that I did make makes sense actually. Yes, right. Remember, all the pieces containing red are used up in these pieces here. Yeah, this frame piece and these 5 pieces in here. Yeah, that means these 2 pieces cannot contain any red anymore. Yeah, they cannot contain red, so they can't be orange and they can't be red. So that means they need to contain yellow here and here. And we don't have yellow. We have orange, which is already used up for the inside for the other pieces here. Yeah, it's not in here and not in here, as I mentioned before. So the only 2 pieces left containing yellow are green, which we can put here already. Yeah. And now, if you remember, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces with red, and they have to go in this piece and in these 5 pieces, which means for the remaining 4 pieces on the corner, we only have blue left. Yeah? These 4 pieces have to be blue, because these 5 pieces have to be somewhere in here. We know that already. Okay, moving on. We see from this clue that these 4 blue colors are used up here in these corner pieces, which means that for like these 2 green pieces are also used up here and here, by the way. Yeah, which means that for these 3 pieces inside here, this one, these 3 pieces, they need to contain blue. Okay. Furthermore, I need an orange piece somewhere in these 3 pieces, which means the red pieces can only be here and here. Again, because these 3 pieces had to be somewhere in here and here. Okay, and now I can complete this puzzle by looking at this clue here, first of all. We have 2 red neighbors already, and we have 1 yellow containing neighbor already. We need 1 more neighbor here containing yellow, which is orange only. So this can go there. And the 2 remaining violet pieces thus have to go here and here. Okay. That was the last puzzle already. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and everything I said made sense to you. In the next video I will solve the puzzles in the violet colored group. So I hope to see you there again. And until then I say bye bye.